call the Board of Commissioners meeting to order here at 10:01. All those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do we have any public here for comment for items not appearing on today's agenda? Thanks for the wave, Julian, but I'm not seeing anybody. So we'll move along. Any additions to the agenda from the board? No? Okay. If the meeting minutes from the 21st are good, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the meeting held October 21st.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the meeting held on October 21st. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. All right, we will move on to our resolution, Resolution 13, resolution from the board addressing the delayed Commonwealth budget. Probably a number of you are aware that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has not had a budget since July 1st, which is the date that they were supposed to enact that, and we are now 119 days in. So this resolution was provided by the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. It was written during the summer convention. It's bipartisan. A number of counties have passed this, and the budget impasse in Harrisburg affects counties, it affects municipalities, it affects school districts, human service agencies, and many more. Center County government has roughly, 560, 570 employees, and the 100 or so human service agencies that we support have hundreds and hundreds of additional staff. The companies and other suppliers that the county contracts with, additionally, hundreds and hundreds of staff. So Center County government, knock on wood here, thankfully, has enough funds that we think we can make it to December 31st. Talked to several other local counties, and some of them say they can probably make it, and some of them suddenly heard their mother calling or had to go to the bathroom. So probably some of the counties nearby aren't going to be able to make it to the end of the year. So very serious situation, and we strongly urge the legislature to get together, hash it out, compromise, come up with a budget, even if it's 100 and some days late. A lot of desperate people need those services and need those funds. Commissioner Concepcion, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, we're just getting to a point where particularly the most economically disadvantaged areas of Pennsylvania are feeling this the most severely. And it's, those that are most reliant on state funding, whether it's school districts or counties or municipalities, but particularly, school districts and counties that rely on this funding to provide mandated services. And we need to continue to provide those mandated services and ensure that we're serving our communities, and school districts have kids coming in the door every day. And, it's just not reasonable to have this kind of unpredictability with, the state budget. So we're just asking that they get together and work on it until they have a resolution. So.
Thank you. Commissioner Dershowitz.
I would probably just start with the whole conversation needs to be that we need to get this done. I think we are required by the state to have our budget at the beginning of the year. Theirs obviously is in the middle of the year, and therein lies the conflict. I mean, we don't have the resources to make it until next July, and that would be painful for not only us but a lot of folks in the Commonwealth. So I would urge that they get together, shake some hands, try to figure out a way to get through this, and come up with a sensible budget that works as best it can given the circumstance. But it's been difficult to project. We're in the process of coming up with our 2026 budget, and we really don't have any guidelines other than, we're going to gauge it against what we did last year, and that's really the best knowledge that we have. And that's not a good budgeting practice, and I think knowing
The ballpark of $800,000 a week, but our controller and finance director keep looking at the numbers, and they keep saying, we think we can just make it until December 31st without cutting any services, without laying off any county employees, without any severe cuts. For counties, that's a critical date because it's much easier for us to borrow money in January than it is this time of the year. We're mandated, in many cases, to pay those back by December 31st, and without a state budget, we couldn't.
And just to layer on top of that, we, through good budgeting, we have reserves, and we are using those reserves to pay our bills right now. And those reserves traditionally have gained us interest, and we
Yes.
are losing that interest income right now, which has an impact on our budget for next year as well. So
That's exactly
we're
right.
getting hit both
Yeah.
ways.
And Commissioner Concepcion's point, for some of the less fortunate counties in Pennsylvania, not only are they not receiving the money market interest on the rainy day fund, they're now having to borrow some money and paying interest on that money. So they're really hurting. It's a great question, Tim.
And I would note, for school districts in Pennsylvania, there's, each school district has an aid ratio that is correlated with the level of economic need in that district. So the districts that have the greatest economic need have the highest percentage of their budget that is state funding. They are the least able to make it through, a prolonged, impasse like this without state funding coming in. So it has the greatest impact on those who are most reliant on state funding, are the least able to, to cope with this kind of really prolonged budget impasse. So, and it'll begin to have some really real world effects. So it needs to get taken care of.
Yeah, so definitely would urge Center County citizens to support your local human service agencies, food banks, et cetera. We're heading into the holiday season, but for a lot of people, this is becoming a very tough time for them.
Is the county, and I realize it's trickle-down economy, but we're talking about people losing food benefits, LIHEAP
Right.
is being delayed, it's getting cold out.
Yes.
Is the county looking at any type of emergency provisions to help those in need?
We had been discussing that earlier in the year, before we knew the state budget crisis was going to be this prolonged. At this point, I think, unfortunately, the county has to focus on our core mission of providing these services and keeping county employees paid. We just may not have enough spare cash at this point, Gary, to do optional things. It's a good point. We had looked into it earlier in the year when we thought there might be the possibility of a federal shutdown, but not a state shutdown at the same time. It's pretty rough for lots of groups at this point. No federal funding, no state funding, and no end in sight at the moment for either one of those groups. All right, good series of questions. Thanks. We'll move on now.
Oh, we'll take a motion?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay. I'll move to adopt Resolution 13 of 2025.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 13 of 2025. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving on to our proclamations. We have Proclamation 55 proclaiming November as Military Appreciation. Wait, what?
All right. Go ahead.
Keep going? Okay. As Military Appreciation Month in Center County. And we have Eugene and McFeely and Julian Morales from Penn State. Why don't you join us here at the side table by Steve so the cameras can get a better angle on you.
Good morning.
Morning. We very much appreciate our partnership with Penn State in this area and keep those invitations coming for the Military Honor Cord ceremonies. Those are very nice.
Absolutely. So Commissioner Higgins, Concepcion, and Dersham, thank you for inviting us today to be part of the proclamation for Center County's Military Appreciation Month. It's been a great partnership between Penn State and the county for the last 9 years. So Penn State's been doing military appreciation for just 14 years now, as far as their anniversary. But this year, our military appreciation theme at Penn State is Medal Honor recipients. And in particular, we're highlighting Lieutenant Michael P. Murphy, Penn State's very own Medal of Honor recipient. We're going to be having a week-long series of events at Penn State, starting on the 7th of November and concluding on the 14th of November. So as in previous years, we're going to kick off with a banner unveiling in the Burroughs State College for our veteran banners downtown. We're going to have a football game, tailgate, a couple other sporting events. But in addition, this year, we're also doing a movie, a art event down at Waukesha Theater, which is called Poor and Poppies, which is a veteran-themed art experience. And then on Thursday night, we're going to be going down to one of the local establishments for a trivia night and some beer. But anyway, it should be a good military appreciation as always, and we always appreciate the partnership with the county, with Penn State on this.
Is the movie Lone Survivor?
Yeah, it is.
I had guessed.
Yeah.
Well, very much appreciate the two of you coming. Anything else you'd like to add, Julian?
No, I just want to again echo and say thank you for the partnership and for all that you do. So it's much appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thanks.
we'd like to invite all Center County residents to participate in our events over the course of the week. You can find a schedule of events at militaryappreciation.psu.edu, and all are welcome to join.
Say that one again for the press and look
Oh,
at the camera.
militaryappreciation.psu.edu. We'd welcome all Center County residents to come join us during our Military Appreciation Week.
There you go. Hopefully that's one of the stories that makes it onto the news tonight. Well, thanks again so much for coming. Center County government has a very active Veterans Affairs Department, which works very closely with Penn State. I know you have, a couple of thousand military veterans and active duty military who are taking classes a lot through the World Campus, which is tremendous. And here in Center County, we have, I'm trying to remember, 7,000 or 8,000 veterans here in the county. It's an amazing number, and the number of veterans buried here in the county is nearly double that. And we're always finding a couple extra deceased veterans every year to add for all the Memorial Day festivities. So we very much appreciate you coming, and very much, of course, appreciate the service of our military members here in Center County. Obviously crucial for defending the Constitution and the country. Commissioner Concepcion.
Yeah, thanks for coming here and helping us, highlight this really important Military Appreciation Month. And it sounds like some really good events that'll be happening in association with Penn State's recognition of this. And, we're always, eager to make sure that folks understand that our Veterans Affairs Department here in Center County is here for local veterans to make sure that they're accessing all the benefits that they're entitled to and getting some help in sorting out what benefits they may be able to access. So, it's a good chance to highlight that we have a very active Veterans Affairs Department here. It's in our new Community Services Building. So it had been here in the Willow Bank. It's moved over to the Community Services Building, and they've got a new, larger, improved space there. So it's worth stopping by if you're a veteran and getting in touch with them. So.
Commissioner Dershowitz.
Well, I just want to thank you for honoring Lieutenant Murphy. I had the opportunity a number of years back to attend a Navy League event where Michael Murphy's parents and family were there, and it was quite an event. And then they had a screening at the State Theater of Lone Survivor. I think it was one of the premier events. And he was a hero, and his monument still, I presume, sits next to Old Main.
Yep.
And if you haven't seen it, you should go view it. But I think it's fantastic that one of our own gets that type of recognition, and look forward to attending some of the events and paying homage to his memory and supporting his family and the other folks in the Navy SEAL community that gave so much. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. And yeah, when it's convenient, Eugene, you should come and see the new Veterans Affairs office. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
I've got that on my short list. I told
right.
Brian I'm going to pay him a visit. So
Yeah.
to see,
He's right inside the front door, too.
Yeah,
so
he's
it's
raving
Yeah.
about his new space, so
Yep.
he's very happy.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's just to the left, and it's really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Great. Any questions from the press on this proclamation? No? All right.
Okay. Then I'll move to adopt Proclamation 55 of 2025, proclaiming November 2025 as Military Appreciation Month in Center County.
I will second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Proclamation 55 proclaiming November as Military Appreciation Month in Center County. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm sure we'll see the two of you again sometime soon.
Do that photo?
Thanks. That's right. Come on up, and let's do the photo.
Go to wall. It's all good. No, you're on the other side.
Military one?
You're the honored guest.
No. We always put the guests in the middle. That way JJ knows where we are.
The other way?
Oh, my left, my bad. Right there, that's good.
All right. Mostly centered on Bulfon, or we could move it?
Alright, Monterey State Military Appreciation Fund, 1, 2, 3. Great stuff. Alright, thank you.
Thank you for coming. You got it. All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Okay,
Okay. Another proclamation.
yes, so, oh, thanks. So now another important topic, Proclamation 56, proclaiming November as National Family Caregivers Month in Center County. And we have Quentin and Brandy from our Office of Aging. Why don't you also come to the side table here?
We also have our care managers.
Oh, great.
Oh, you got the whole tribe.
Yeah, you want
All
to
right.
stand behind them then? Hopefully that'll look real nice on the video.
How's everybody this morning?
Yeah,
Good.
Renee, Stacy, and Ashley help with our caregiver support program.
Thank you.
thanks. Thanks for coming, and obviously, with the shortage of nursing aides, a lot of family caregivers have done it in the past, but now we kind of need more of them, and I think you have a program for that. We'd love to have you explain it.
Sure. First, I'd like to have Brandy talk a little bit about the some of the statistics that we're seeing as far as with caregiving.
Okay, so in 2025, family caregiving has completed 63 million American adults who provide ongoing care to individuals with medical conditions, disabilities, making it a 45% increase since 2015. In 2025, 29% of caregivers are part of the sandwich generation, meaning they're taking care of their children and their aging parents. And financially, caregivers spend an average of 26% of their income caregiving due to food, gas, travel, and medications. Approximately 50% report negative financial impacts, and 25% are taking debt related to caregiving. Caregiving can be a tedious, repetitive, physically challenging, and emotionally straining job for many. Caregivers sacrifice their own well-being to take care of their loved ones. In Center County is dedicated to individuals and organizations who work daily to support family caregivers in our community. Supports include adult daycare, respite care, reimbursement of supplies, and linking them to community resources.
And we are very lucky to have our caregiver support program. Our caregiver support program provides resources and assistance to individuals who assume primary responsibility for the provisions of care to help alleviate the stress associated with caregiving and support the caregiving relationship by focusing on the caregiver's well-being. The caregiver support program recognizes the caregiver's stress and impact on the caregiver. The program provides up to $600 for reimbursement for supplies and respite care based on household income. We also have a benefit through the program of reimbursement of up to $5,000 for the lifetime of the caregiver. We also have benefits, counseling, and training opportunities that we provide. It's like gave around to you. We have a newsletter that we send out to the caregivers where we provide them information, support, ideas, trainings that they can participate in to help them become better caregivers. If anybody is interested in applying for the Caregiver Support Program, they can give us a call at 1-844-355-6716.
All right. Face the cameras and do it again.
1-844-355-6716 is the number for the Center County Office of Aging if you would be interested in applying for our Caregiver Support Program.
Thank
And then
you.
Brandy
Yeah,
just
some more?
wanted to give a quick
Yeah, just some
ideas to help support
support
caregivers.
caregivers. Just a few ways you can show a family caregiver support and appreciation. You can offer to provide some respite care for them, whether that be once a week or for a period of time. Caregivers can benefit greatly from a break. Spending a morning with their loved one so they can run errands or take a break for themselves. The gift of time is priceless. Checking in regularly, just let them know, just let them talk about their experience without offering advice or casting opinion, letting them know the work they're doing is valuable and the value it brings to their family. Remember, you don't have to fix their problems. Just giving a listening ear and allowing them to talk openly without judgment offers great support. Be specific with your offers. Don't just give an open-ended, hey, if you need a break, give me a call thing. Make it specific. I can come sit with your dad on Tuesday while you have an appointment. That offers, caregivers are awfully overwhelmed and it's difficult for them to ask for help. So that would really benefit them. You could help with chores, bring them a meal, clean the house, do some laundry, do yard work, or tackle a list of tasks that it's hard for the caregiver to get to. This helps ease their burden and it makes them feel supported. And make sure you keep inviting them to things. They might not be able to attend the first time, but if you keep inviting them, you never know when their schedule will open up, and that will let them know that they're also supported.
Well, those are some great ideas, Brandy, and you're right. Being somewhat more specific lets people actually take advantage and say, yes, next Saturday would be great to have a 4-hour break, instead of just saying, whatever you need.
Yeah.
That's tremendous. So obviously, this is very important to the individuals being cared for, very important for the family. And the Center County Office of Aging does have programs and in some cases financial support to assist caregivers who are doing definitely the right thing and covering something that in many cases can go on for months or even years. So we understand the situation and are happy to help. Commissioner Concepcion.
Yeah, that's a good opportunity to highlight, the needs that folks have when they're in a situation. In our own family, we've had situations where an elderly relative needed caregiving for extended periods of time, years even, and were able to be at home because someone was taking care of them full time. But the strain that creates can be really significant and really take a toll on caregivers as well. So as you had mentioned, reaching out to offer, specific offers of being able to, take a spell of, so that someone can get out and take care of themselves as well. It's really critical. And as we're thinking about this, the federal crisis in terms of SNAP benefits and with the federal budget not, that impasse, there's a lot of people who are caregivers who do receive SNAP benefits because it's their caregiving rather than working a job themselves. And so, those are often some of the kind of people that we can be forgotten because they may be somewhat invisible in society if they're at home caregiving for a relative and not able to work while they're doing so, and they may be reliant on SNAP benefits. Those are, sometimes people can become, have vulnerable situations, and these safety nets like SNAP are one of the ways that people are able to care for elderly relatives. So can be a systemic issue then. So.
Great point, Commissioner Concepcion. Commissioner Dershowitz.
Yeah, this is, I think it hits home for a bunch of us that have been there and got those merit badges, and it's difficult. It's a very difficult time, and I think it's one where, as
Amber indicated, it's often, you're outside the realm of society. You're at somebody's home taking care of them. You're not out on the street doing whatever, and a lot of folks don't appreciate what it takes, and it's a labor of love. I mean, you're taking care of a family member and caring for them in their most vulnerable time. I think it's good that you're highlighting this, because a lot of folks don't appreciate it until they're in it, and I think a lot of folks need to appreciate it before they're in it, so they can give the type of help to the folks around them that need it. And one of the other things that caregivers do that I don't think a lot of folks appreciate is there's only a handful, by literally maybe less than 300 beds for Medicaid recipients in Center County, and it helps alleviate that stress. And but at the same time, it emphasizes the fact that places like Center Care and that they have 240 beds. They fill up pretty quickly, and the need is much greater than the supply, and this helps offset that. And the longer you can give care to somebody, but ultimately you can only give care for so long, and at some point it becomes a medical necessity that they find other resources. But yeah, this is a big deal, and I think anything we can do to educate people, because if you're not in it yet, you probably will be, and you'll be either on the receiving side of it or the giving side of it, and it's very important that people appreciate and understand how dire the situation can be for some people, because they have to give up their job, they have to give up a lot of things in their life to make sure that gets done, and it's tough. It's a very tough time, and it does require teamwork. It's not so that one person is going to go 24/7 all year round. I mean, it requires more than just a sole effort. So we appreciate you bringing the highlight to this, and anything we can do to get the word out and spread the word. And thank you all for getting those resources out to people and letting them understand that there are things out there that can make things better. So appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much for coming, and great points by both commissioners. And of course, state and federal funds help pay for these programs, and at this point, the commissioners and county government are basically fronting the money, hoping we will eventually get paid back, because obviously this is crucial for the families involved, the extra financial support, the respite care, the ability to network with other families that are in the same situation, makes a really, really tough job a little bit easier.
And a big shout out to our Meals on Wheels.
Oh, yes.
And the home delivered meals folks, because again, they make a lot of this possible.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
there's a lot of good things that happen in the community because of volunteer and hard work on a lot of people's parts, including yourselves. So again, thank you.
Excellent point, Steve. Very much would like to thank the nonprofit that runs Meals on Wheels in the Center region, and there are dozens and dozens of volunteers who prepare hundreds of meals every day. And of course, outside of the Center region, the county handles most of that. And again, it's kind of split between your office and the Department of Transportation. And I know between those two groups, we have a handful of saves every year where either somebody on your staff or somebody in transportation says, something's off, something's not right at this house, let's do a wellness check, and then we find out a wellness check was really needed. And we literally save several lives every year. And hopefully has the new food service started yet?
Yes, so our new provider started October 1st, and we're now doing 2 deliveries per week, and everybody's getting 2 hot meals, which has been a very positive. We've gotten really good feedback on the food, and also having 2 hot meals. People really appreciate that. And at the senior centers, our congregate meals, everybody seems to like them as well.
Good. And I believe the new provider had more variety too.
Yes, so there's actually optionality, which is really, we really think that helps, especially the senior centers, with allowing, they can have a sandwich, soup sandwich or salad, or they can have fish every day, or they can have what's on the menu. So I think that helps with participation and attendance to the senior centers, because of a lot of times if they don't like what they eat, they don't come.
Yeah.
One last thing is, I presume that the program that allows for emergency contact, where you have the emergency buttons, that still exists?
Yes.
Yeah,
So.
that's a super program, by the way.
Yeah, so we can actually, we actually could use it through our options program. We have people who get the emergency buttons through that. But also, we will reimburse under the caregiver program as well. If somebody purchases one, they can submit the receipts to us, and then we will reimburse them for their monthly fee as well.
Okay, good to know. That's a great program, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very little amount of money, but it has a huge impact on somebody's safety.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks. All right, sorry, commissioners are very interested in serving our seniors. Any questions from the press on this topic? No? All right, I think we can take a motion then.
I will move to adopt Proclamation 56 of 2025, proclaiming November 2025 as National Family Caregivers Month in Center County.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to adopt proclamation number 56 proclaiming November as National Family Caregivers Month in Center County. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose nay. Motion carries. Well, all 5 of you, come on up for the photo.
Right in the center. There you go.
How do you want to do this, JJ? 3 with 2 in front, or all 5? Can you get all of us?
I think we could maybe get all of y'all.
All right, turn a little bit, maybe.
Pause. I'm actually stalling buying time for a fun joke, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good. All right, on 3, say care living. 1, 2, 3. Care living. Thank y'all. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, folks, very much. Thanks for coming in.
Yep, proclamation, sorry. My bad. All right. So, moving on to contracts and authorizations, the very patient Jonathan has 3 for us.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. This morning, I am asking for your consideration and approval of a contract with Dan Willis Architecture to provide an accessibility compliance audit at 15 Center County polling locations. The contract is not to exceed $11,000. The next item is approval of a change order with Holstrom Clark Electric to relocate the fire pump disconnect, add additional disconnect identification, and the installation of a main breaker on panel LLSB, all per code requirements, in the amount of $25,835 at the Community Services Building. And the last item are change orders with McCrossin for the demolition of the concrete pad for the installation of plumbing piping, missing signage, and door hardware changes at the Community Services Building in the amount of $12,644, and 2 credits for the deletion of the site fencing scrim and the deletion of door hardware in the amount of $8,130. So that brings a net change order to $4,514 with McCrossin.
Great. Well, thanks, Jonathan, for putting all this together. I know it was a lot of work, but obviously we're still working through the punch list items at the Community Services Building, and we very much appreciate Mr. Willis giving us a reasonable price on the accessibility compliance audit.
Absolutely.
Anything you'd like to add, Commissioner Concepcion? Commissioner Dershowitz?
How close to the end are we of that
On
project?
the Community Services Building, we are within reach. The contractors are all working on punch list items. The largest punch list still has 40 remaining items. There are a few more outstanding change orders that are going to be coming through. The work had been completed for code requirements. We're just finalizing the paperwork on that.
Okay.
So within the next couple weeks, the project will be wrapping up.
So we are seeing daylight to the end.
We are.
Okay, great, thank you.
And again, want to express our appreciation for county administration, for facilities, for all the county departments working together on this, the architect, the contractors, the construction workers, county staff, everything came together, and it's a really nice building, and received a lot of compliments on it already, so.
Yes. It has been a huge undertaking, but definitely a well-deserved project.
Great.
All right. I will move them. We approve capital project items 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 3 capital project items. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great, thanks, Jonathan.
you.
Thank you.
All right, and now, we were talking about transportation earlier. Here's Dave from Transportation with a contract.
Good morning. Thank you. Yes, I come and ask for consideration of approval of a contract with White Diamond Express LLC to assist in the fulfillment of our out-of-county trips under our Medical Assistance Transportation Program. The monthly rates are, the rates for trips are as follows. It's a $60 minimum fee for trips 40 miles and under, and $2.90 per loaded mile for a single trip beyond the 40 miles. We do allow a 5-cent annual increase in the contract that is actually would run through from November 1st of 2025 through October 31st of 2030, if approved. Obviously, our current contractor can only do so much. So we're often having people have to delay their needs because we don't have someone to do the trips. We do some ourselves that are not long distance, but when it gets into a longer distance trip, such as Hershey or Danville or Pittsburgh, which we do quite a few of, we hire the out-of-county contractors for those through the program. And it's just something that we need, and this individual is more than willing to do it, more than capable, has all the clearances, and is looking forward to working with Center County.
Great. Well, we very much appreciate the extra work that Julia, yourself, and your staff do to offer this. I know a lot of counties don't offer
Right.
transportation
Yes.
very far outside of their county, but here in Center County, we all care about our citizens. And
Yes.
so if you're meet the income requirements, but you still need to go to Danville, you still need to go to Hershey, or maybe even Pittsburgh,
Right.
we'll find a way to get you there.
Yes. Yeah, it's just a business that has grown quite a lot, and the need is there, so we just like to try to meet it as best we can. Yes.
Great. Thank you, Dave. Any questions, Commissioner Concepcion?
No, it's just a really crucial service for folks when, if you're having a health problem and
Yes.
sometimes that drive could be too much for someone. And,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Just,
Mr. Dershowitz?
how is this funded? What's
That's
the-
100% funded through the medical assistance program, yes.
So we don't, the county
We
provides.
bill them 100% of the numbers you
And
see
they
there.
pay 100% of it?
Absolutely, yes, yes,
All right,
they do.
Perfect.
Yep, they sure do.
This is Medicaid, so.
Medical assistance, yes. It's similar, but
Right.
there's caveats there that they label it a little differently,
Gotcha.
but it all trickles down to that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Then I will move to approve the contract with White Diamond Express LLC.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contract with White Diamond Express. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Dave.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Speaking of Julia, I think I see her out in the hallway, here with a contract addendum for MHIDEI Drug and Alcohol.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm here before you to ask for contract addendum number 1 with Service Access and Management Incorporated, which provides financial support for the following departments. And what I'd like to just say is that this is adding adult services into the existing contract so that all of the human services that Sam works with are under one umbrella. The other thing to note is that this is a 2-year contract, but if you think about it, Sam does each of those departments separate. So MH is one, intellectual disabilities is one, early intervention is one, drug and alcohol is one, adult services is one, transportation is both transportation and fleet, and then you have aging, and on top of all of that, you have the block grant that they also. So each of those departments, there's certain reporting that needs to be done to the state for the money that they receive. So there's a lot rolled in to, I know that that's a little sticker shock of the 2 million, but it is for 2 years, and like I said, it's really serving, if you think about it, 9 different departments, encompassing all of that. So we're asking for the increase the contract total by $104,038 to include adult services into the contract.
So were they already doing services for adult services, and this is just
Yes.
pulling it all into one?
Yes, so adult
contract?
services, their contract was on the year, and this, so then we had to do 6 months so that this lines up with the state fiscal
That makes
calendar. And so this is putting them back in line with everybody else and fitting everybody under the same umbrella.
Gotcha, okay.
Commissioner Dershowitz, any questions? No. I do know from the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania Conventions, I believe Service Access and Management is working with well over 20 Pennsylvania counties, and I think they've expanded into surrounding states like New Jersey and Maryland.
Yeah, it's been really helpful at times because if there's a certain question, they can reach out to, like we met yesterday and they needed to reach out to Susquehanna, our Schuylkill County, because there was a question about reporting. And so they're able to share that information amongst the several, so we really do get, better service that way with that coordinating.
Great. Well, thanks, Julia, appreciate it.
Sure.
And I believe Kathy has, let's see, 2 more items, I believe.
Good morning. I have the other two
I'm
agenda.
seeing just one
Okay.
vote at the bottom
Okay.
for all 3.
Yeah, I have the other 2 agenda items. 2 contract renewals. The first is a letter of agreement with the Arc of Center County to provide intellectual disability services. This includes in-home and community support, supported employment, transportation, respite care, and behavioral support services. This contract total is $99,300. Most of that is state funding, and the county match portion is $4,578 for the time period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. The second is a contract renewal with the Center for Community Resources. They do our crisis intervention services under mental health. This contract total is $50,000. The majority of that is state funding. The county match portion is $2,305. And this is also for the time period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026.
Great, thanks, Kathy, thanks for covering that. And of course, at this point, the state match is somewhat of a theoretical situation. At the moment, the county's covering 100% of that. I appreciate it. Any questions on those other 2 contracts from either commissioner?
I'll move to add the MHID, EI, DNA items 1 through 3 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion, a second, to add the 3 MHID, EI, drug and alcohol items to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Kathy and
Thank you.
Julia. We have a very short consent agenda this week.
I will move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye, opposed nay, motion carries. All right, moving on to authorities, boards, and commissions. We're appointing Randy Snook to the Local Emergency Planning Committee. I believe she's a new employee in that department.
She's an EMA secretary.
EMA secretary,
Transfer from our 911 center.
yeah. So, long-term county employee with a moving within the county. Any questions on this one?
She'll be the secretary of this organization.
Ah, yes.
I guess that's part of her job description.
Yep.
Right, but we have to appoint her to it.
Right.
Yeah. I'll move to approve the ABC appointment for Randy Snook.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ABC appointment for Randy Snook. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on to the check run. Commissioner Concepcion.
Yeah, so the check that I'd like to highlight today is for Center Communications, as we're continuing upgrades to our 911 equipment.
Oh, yes.
And with that, I would move that we approve the check run dated October 24th, 2025.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the check run dated October 24th. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Any administrators report today, John?
Nothing to report at this time.
All right. We do have a presentation from Chad, covering more of the county's 225th anniversary. And apropos here, it's regarding public safety and emergency response.
Yes, good morning. Continuing our history series this month, we're going to do public safety and emergency response departments throughout the county. Going to start with two of the oldest departments in the county that go back to our founding in 1800, and that's the jail and the sheriff's office. The jail was actually written into the Act 2092 that established the county, where it declared that it shall be lawful for the commissioners to build and erect a courthouse, a prison, and other county buildings for the safekeeping of public records. So the first jail that was built was in 1800. It was at approximately the location of East Pike Street and Decatur Lane, off of East High Street, so kind of right next to the courthouse. This one was 30 feet long and had a 25-foot wide cellar, and it was contracted price for $11,162 by a local builder. By 1811, county realized that jail was pretty primitive, and they needed to build a more sufficient and safe facility. So a lot adjacent to that location was sold by Thomas Burnside to the county for $300, and a new jail was constructed roughly on the same location, including a residence for the sheriffs. That structure survives still today at 119 East High Street. And the jail was expanded to, it was a larger jail and included a jail yard as well. That facility operated until 1868, when the county built a jail behind the courthouse. That was our first jail located there. And that jail operated until January 16th of 1959, where there was a fire that evening. It was a fortress-style jail that also provided housing for the local sheriff and his family. When there was a fire, our Center County inmates at the time were housed at Rockview during a period until county could build a new jail, and so this would have been our fourth jail, constructed roughly about the same location. It was built in 1964. It was expanded in 1986 to add a larger exercise yard, a Sallyport area, and a second floor bunk housing. And then that brings us to our fifth and current jail, which is the present jail we have. This facility operated and opened in August of 2005. Currently has approximately, when staffing is full, about 100 employees, annual budget of around $12 million, and it's the county's largest standalone department. The current facility has the ability to house 397 individuals, and for years we have offered bed services, bed space for counties that have, facing overcrowding issues. The facility currently offers 20 programs on a weekly basis for those incarcerated, and it was the first county facility to install and utilize solar power. The facility also houses a central booking center for all county police agencies, which expedites the downtime for police officers when they are as an arrest process. So the prison board was established in 1971, creating the position of the warden. Our current warden, Glenn Irwin, is the 10th individual to serve as warden of that facility. And then segueing into the sheriff's department, prior to 1971, the sheriff operated the jail, and that's also one of the oldest positions created in the county. Started with our founding in 1800. Their current location is the former county jail above the courthouse. Sheriff's Office provides security to county buildings, including the courthouse, Temple Court, Annex, Willowbank, Community Service Building, as well as provides security at the University Park Airport. So they do patrol, they serve civil process, court writs, provide transportation for prisoners in and out of state prisons, perform traffic stops, DUI task force, Attorney General, and PSP drug details, and conducts sales of real estate and personal properties. Some of their scale, they serve about 550 warrants per year, average about 3,200 transports per year, serve 300 PFAs per year, and 2,200 civil services, and they issue roughly 4,000 pistol permits. Currently, they have a staff of about 31, which includes 9 patrol deputies, a chief deputy, a sergeant, a lieutenant, 4 airport deputies, 13 full-time deputies, a humane officer, part-time deputies, and 4 support staff. And Sheriff Samsel is the 31st individual to serve as the Sheriff of Center County. So moving on to our 911 department. This department went live with County Dispatch Center in June 1st of 1994. At the time, they were doing roughly 100 incidents per day. The center dispatches police, fire, EMS countywide, and dispatches fire and EMS for a portion of Clearfield County as well. They also provide 911 street addressing for the 35 municipalities in Center County using Center County GIS mapping data for assistance. When fully staffed, the department has roughly 38 employees, including administrative staff. 911 also operates a robust county-wide Motorola trunking radio system. They have 19 tower sites across the county and share 2 adjoining counties. And they're hoping to add more in 2026. The volume today, they handle roughly about 200 to 300 incidents per day during severe weather, delays, and local events that can double or triple. In 2024, there were 35,244 911 phone calls. There was 126,473 non-emergency phone calls, and they dispatched 136,498 incidents during the year, with dispatching of police incidents at 78,000 was their highest level of dispatch. So.
Every year, every other year, there's a baby in there somewhere. too.
Yes.
Yes.
My neighbor, they had to dispatch one to my neighbor just about a month ago. They had
wow.
a baby at home, yes. So moving on from 911 to our next department, which is EMA. So the Office of Emergency Services was established roughly around in the mid-1970s. Prior to that, the county had a department which did emergency services. It was called Civil Defense. The first mention I saw of that was in 1953. So today, this office plans for and directs disaster response and crisis management activities. They provide disaster preparedness training and prepares and assists with emergency plans and procedures for natural, man-made, and technological hazards. The office supports the residents, first responders, and other stakeholders of Center County to build, sustain, and improve their capability to prepare for, protect against, respond to, and recover and mitigate hazards. Over the years, EMA department has had 6 directors and currently has 3 staff members, a director, deputy director, and administrative assistant. So our next department is the Office of the Public Defender. And so this was created in 1968 as a response to several Supreme Court decisions requiring the appointment of an attorney when the state prosecutes an indigent accused individual. So the public defender is the only row office identified in the Pennsylvania Constitution as appointed rather than elected. Our first public defender was Ned Willard, which was appointed in September of 1970. In 1983, the board appointed Kim Hamilton as public defender, and this was significant as she was the first woman in Pennsylvania to hold that office. Kind of give an overview of how the caseload has increased. In September of 1971, they had opened 301 cases the following year. The 2024 caseload was 2,953. And so in 55 years of existence, they have grown from 1 attorney and 1 secretary to 8 attorneys and 7 support staff. And our current public defender is the ninth individual to serve in that capacity. And then our last, but certainly not least, department in public safety realm is the Center County Criminal Justice Planning Department. This was created in 1999 from the existing Intermediate Punishment Department. The creation of criminal justice planning reflected a new emphasis on system-wide criminal justice activities throughout the county. So therefore, the department maintains a close working relationship with the Board of Commissioners, the courts, probation, District Attorney Office, County Correctional Facility, and other county offices with regard to criminal justice issues. The department serves as a liaison among county offices and other criminal justice agencies within the county, and is a primary point of contact with Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. The Criminal Justice Planning Department provides oversight for several different initiatives, including the Criminal Justice Advisory Board, also known as CJAB, Crisis Intervention Team, Reentry Coalition, Heroin and Opioid Prevention Education, also known as the HOPE Initiative, and Center County Stepping Up Initiative. They're also responsible for grant funding. Criminal justice planning has historically secured numerous grants at both the state and federal level. While the exact amount is not really known, Carrie estimates it would be several $1 million over the lifetime of the department. And there have been 2 directors that have served in that position, Jean Laurie and currently Carrie Hull. And then I wanted to end with a couple of these public safety departments are currently hiring. So our correctional facility, public defender, 911, and our sheriff's office currently has vacancies of various sorts in their departments.
Great, well, thanks for that overview, Chad. A couple real interesting items there. Number one, that it was Center County that had the first female public defender in the Commonwealth. And second, that sounds like for roughly 150 years, part of the sheriff's duties not only included being warden, but you had to live on site
Yes.
at the correctional facility.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, their office now was built with sheriff's residence in there. So it wasn't until the early 70s where we had a warden that oversaw the jail.
Wow.
And that the sheriff's family was also
Yeah,
living there.
yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for all of this research.
Yeah,
It's really.
it's been fun.
It's interesting to see how much evolution has occurred even since the 1950s. That we've
Yes.
had a lot of change in the way this is, these departments have been organized. Yeah, I had not realized the sheriff ran the jail until, relatively recently in the
Yeah.
history of our
Yeah.
county.
Oh, even in the smaller counties, sometimes the sheriff still does.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Commissioner
it's,
Dershowitz.
it's always fascinating. It's
Yeah.
like a little trip down memory lane, and in some respects, and other times, it's like, wow, that's amazing history. I had no idea, and it's fascinating. Having worked with Jean Laurie and a lot of other folks probably on those lists, it's been really interesting to learn, maybe the genesis. The sheriff's office, I remember when it used to be in a courthouse
Yeah.
on the 4th floor, and and it's just grown and morphed
Yeah.
into a lot more than
Yeah.
it traditionally has. When you see the numbers, the sheer numbers that they're involved with, as far as their process of service, it's phenomenal. And then of course the emergency communications. That's
Yes.
there was really none before
Right.
1994, and
Right.
we took it over and built a system and we keep it going ever since.
Yeah.
So a lot of good things going on there. So
Yes, yeah, it was fun to look into, so
yeah.
thanks for letting us report on it.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. That was very interesting. Any questions from the press on those multiple different department histories? No? All right, well, thanks again, Chad.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right, moving on to voter registration report.
Yeah, so this is our last voter registration report before the general election, and then we won't have one again for most of November until we get through all of the processing of the election. So today on our report, we have 102,026 total voters registered in Center County. That's up 45 from last report. Of those, Democratic voters comprise 41,383, Green Party 160, Libertarian 559, those with no affiliation 15,830, Republican registered voters 42,081. All of the minor parties comprise 2,013, bringing us to that total number of 26 voters registered in Center County. Our precinct of the week that we're recognizing this week is Precinct 21, State College Southeast. There are 821 total registered voters in this precinct. They had a voter turnout of 33% at the May primary. They vote at Grace Fellowship Church Fellowship Hall at 1107 William Street in State College. And we would like to thank Grace Fellowship Church for the use of their facility for running elections. I think it's worth noting, today is the last day to apply for a mail-in or civilian absentee ballot. It's today by 5 p.m. You can still go on to the website and request a mail-in ballot or stop by the election office for that. And I think, today will also be the last day that our mobile elections van is processing mail-in ballot requests and submissions. So after today, you'll need to go to vote on Tuesday next week. So the general election is on Tuesday with almost 90 polling locations all over Center County.
Thank you, Commissioner Concepcion. And of course, that is coming up right here around the corner. And polling places will be open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And if you are, I doubt it, but if you were in line at 8 p.m., stay in line and you will be allowed to vote. Just want to make sure you're in line before 8 o'clock. If your polling place for some reason isn't open at 7 o'clock, please call the elections office and they'll get on it right away. A couple of other announcements. Center County government offices will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. And the Board of Commissioners meeting on November 25th has been canceled to allow the board to attend the CCAP Fall Conference. Any executive sessions to report or hold, John?
None to report. However, there is a need to meet an executive session to discuss a legal matter.
All right, and I think that immediately follows this.
Yes, please.
All right, and the remainder of our public meeting schedule on Thursday, October 30th, Finance Committee at 9, Combined Salary Board and Board of Commissioners meeting at 10. On Tuesday, November 4th, the Board of Elections will meet at 6 a.m., and I have to remind myself that's going to be at the Community Services Building instead of here, to open the election. And especially due to Veterans Day, et cetera, the Board of Commissioners will hold a meeting in the Willow Bank at 10 o'clock. And then Tuesday, November 6th, we start Board of Elections meetings at 10 a.m. at the Community Services Building Cafe, which will be live streamed through CNET. Thank you very much, Stephanie. And then the next Board of Elections meeting is Friday, November 7th, also at 10 a.m. I don't know if we have a close time on that. That'll just go until we've processed everything that's available at that point. And Gary's favorite time, questions from the press.
John, has there been any follow-up from Friday's decision involving the Phillipsburg Osceola? Have they contacted the county anymore, any kind of appeal?
We've heard nothing since the court's decision.
Okay. Does the state budget impact any part of the voting in terms of funding that the county has to provide or anything like that?
Not necessarily. Thankfully, Pennsylvania was the last state in the nation that did not reimburse counties, at least partially, for election costs. And that changed a couple of years ago, which we very much appreciate. So I believe that funding has already been received. And as usual, the county will front whatever money it takes to run the elections in Center County and wait for eventual reimbursement if not already received. Tim? Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
My name's Trevor. I'm new in town. I work for the Center Daily Times, so pleasure to meet y'all.
Hey.
So I am looking into the only, for lack of a better word, competitive election at county level on Tuesday's ballot, that is jury commissioners.
Yes.
Trying to understand some of the history behind it, and it sticks around despite most counties, almost all, having gotten rid of the position. So, first question for Commissioner Dersham. I'd like to understand a little bit of the, and you were around in 2012. I don't think most of us were. When the Board of Commissioners considered eliminating the jury commissioner position, I'd like to understand why, at the time that decision was made, and then for, I guess, whoever would like to take it, in the intervening 13 years or so. What thought, if any, has been given to the future of the elected jury commissioner position?
I think the jury commissioner position has been almost a tradition in Center County. I think that's probably why it still exists. The challenge always was getting folks that were capable and willing to do the job that is required by that office, and it is a fairly extensive job for being a part-time one. And the court at one time or another has suggested that we move on past the elected jury commissioners, and I think the Board of Commissioners at least up to that point, had always felt that it was important to keep it an elected and responsible position. I can't speak to other counties what they've done. We've had some pretty strong jury commissioners over the course of time, and I think right now, again, I think that's the case. So I don't know that there's any real movement or any real conversation, at least that I've been party to, that to eliminate those. But just so you understand, one is elected by the Democratic elements of our electorate, and the other one is by the Republicans. So they're both serve together and really do a lot of good things for the court system to make sure that the jury selection process is fair and done properly. So that's really as much as I can offer you, other than I think there's always been support for the jury commissioners. I don't know if that might change, or if there might be some movement afoot to alter that course, but I'm not aware of any myself.
So to be clear, there's 2 jury commissioners.
Yeah. And Trevor, I think they're a little more common than you might think. Last time we looked at this, which was what, maybe 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah.
There are 8 classes of county in Pennsylvania based on population primarily. Center County is a 4th-class county, so a little bigger than average. I think from our size up, elected jury commissioners are relatively rare. I think at that point there might have been one other 4th-class county that had a jury commissioner, and another handful at classes 1, 2, and 3. I believe class 5 down, there are still a fair number of elected jury commissioners. A quick Google search a couple minutes ago indicated that there were probably 5 or 6 counties that had websites mentioning jury commissioners within a ring or 2 of counties around Center. So, yes, larger counties, they're rare. I think smaller counties in PA, they still exist.
The alternative, of course, is court administration using some sort of software to generate a list of potential jury members. We, I think, have just been comfortable with using the elected jury commissioners to perform that duty with the help of technology as well.
Any additional questions? No? All right. Jacob, kind of going around. You're good? And Tim's good too? All right.
Okay.
Well, unless there's anything else, I think we could take a motion to enter executive session, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll move to enter executive session at 11:10.
Second.
We have motion and second to enter executive session at 11:10. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. We are in executive session.